Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, it is KingNido here, and today we are coming to you from Lumos City, the City of Lights, as we continue the Leaders Trials. And today it will be the Lumos Glitches hosting the Goldenrod Aces, and whoever wins this matchup will be going on to face either the Delta types or the Flying types. So let us know in the comments below who you think will win this one. Will it be the Electric types or will it be the normal types? Let's send it down.
3, 2, 1, go!
That is right though. Now the Goldenrod Aces did lose their last matchup against the Electric types back in round 7 as they started with Ursaluna and Slacking. It will be Sandy Shocks and Electros starting up for Lumos Glitches, but immediately a Hydro Cannon, massive hit from Slacking onto Electros, but Sandy Shocks is going to respond with the Sing onto Ursaluna, immediately putting the Park Ground type to sleep, cutting them out of this matchup. That is a great play to start off this match, as Ursaluna with that massive 140 base attack has already been shut out, and Electros connects with that super effective Muddy Water on both Ursaluna and Slacking is revealed to be Zoroark in its illusion form. It is the Hisuian Zoroark who does have to recharge here, as the Sweet Kiss now from Sandy Shocks onto the sleeping Ursaluna is also going to leave it confused. Not that Ursaluna would be aware of this, because it is still fast asleep on the field, as Electros does go with the Accelerate yet again, connecting with Ursaluna, but this time for not very effective damage, as Ursaluna, still fast asleep, is unable to go on the offensive, and Zoroark, having to do all the work at the moment, is going to go with the stockpile. So it is going to stockpile one here, so it's going to boost that defense and special defense. We'll see if it will go for a spit up potentially here, but before that happens, Sandy Shocks is going to go with the Ice Punch, another super effective hit on Ursaluna, who's now in knockout range, and it is still fast asleep. This is exactly the start the Lumos Glitches need in this best of 3 series, as the Electros is going to follow it up with the superpower, but it makes the mistake of going for Zoroark, and due to that Park Ghost typing, it is immune, as Zoroark with the Parabolic Charge. This will not affect Ursaluna, but it's also not going to affect Sandy Shocks, who's also Park Ground type. However, it does do not very effective damage there to Electros, and Zoroark does get a little bit of health back in the process. Sandy Shocks though is going to respond by setting up the Stealth Rocks on the side of the Goldenrod Aces. So now any Pokemon that comes out onto that side will immediately be afflicted by those pointed stones. But before that happens, a heavy slam onto Ursaluna from Electros, doing very little damage. But Ursaluna has finally woken up, but it is still in a confused state, so it might actually eliminate itself from this match. And that it does. Ursaluna was completely shut out by the Lumos Glitches. A fantastic start as they get the first elimination in this best of 3 series, and now the real Slacking comes out onto the field. But having those pointed stones, digging into it, Zoroark with the Encore is unfortunately going to fail. And this allows Sandy Shocks to try and capitalize with the final Gambit. It is going to go for a massive hit on Slacking, but Slacking hangs on. Sandy Shocks, however, has taken itself out of this matchup, and Slacking is going to go with the Worry Seed onto Electros. You have to wonder what it's making it worry about, because it is going to give it that Insomnia ability, taking away that Levitate ability, taking away its immunity to ground type moves, and Electros is going to respond with the Magnet Rise. So immediately it is going to elevate itself with that electromagnetism, and it is going to be joined by Bronzong, the Terrestrial Pokemon for the Lumos Glitches, immediately shedding that Steel Psychic typing, becoming this electric bell here on the field in this spectacular bulb of a form. Now, last time these sides met, the Goldenrod Aces were only able to get one elimination. They've already got one in this matchup, as the Howl from Zoroark is going to boost its attack, as well as boosting that 160 attack of Slacking, but unfortunately doesn't get to capitalize at the moment because of that Truant ability. And this allows Electros to go for the Body Slam, but yet again it goes to Zoroark with a move that it is immune to. However, Bronzong is going to go for the Wish, and surely it is wishing that not only do they win this match, but they win the entire Victory Road series. But first, the Lava Pool from Zoroark is going to connect with everyone on the field, taking out its own teammate. Slacking has been eliminated, but so has Electros, and Bronzong is going to respond by setting up for a Solar Beam. It is going to absorb that light on this turn. It will look to connect with that on the following turn. We'll see if it can try and get an elimination in doing so, as Bronzong's Wish has come true, and out comes Weirdy for the Goldenrod Aces. It is Bellybolt coming out for the Lumos Glitches, and those pointed stones do dig into Weirdy, but it's got that Intimidate ability to lower the attack stat of both Bellybolt and Bronzong here. Zoroark now is going to go with the Cotton Spore onto the electric type Pokemon, lowering both the speed of Bronzong and Bellybolt, but you have to assume They did not need their speed lowered. They were already slow, but the Aqua Step now from Weirdy onto Bellibolt gets a good hit, and Weirdy is going to boost its own speed in the process. Bellibolt looking to go for its first move of the matchup, going with the Bone Rush. But Zoroark is able to avoid yet another move, but that Solar Beam from Bronzong is going to be finished. And Zoroark actually does really well to withstand that move, and it responds with the Charm here. And it does go for Bronzong, lowering that attack stat yet again after that Intimidate and Weirdy. Now with the high jump kick onto Bellibolt, a great connection, and Bellibolt is going to respond with the attack order onto the part Psychic type, so it is super effective onto Weirdy here. Bronzong follows it up by trying to set up a substitute, cutting into its own health, that substitute coming out onto the field. And it will take the damage for Bronzong in the meantime. But first, a Mud Shot is super effective onto Bellibolt from Zoroark. The Goldenrod Aces have just taken the lead here, and Weirdy looking to follow it up. He's going to go with the Waterfall onto the substitute. That is Bronzong's substitute that will be taking that damage here. However, now that substitute has faded, so Bronzong is back out on the field, and Bronzong is going to go with the Bulldoze. This will connect with both Weirdy and Zoroark. It will lower Weirdy's speed as well as Zoroark's, but I assume they will still be quicker than Bronzong, but they may not be quicker than Raichu, because Raichu is coming out onto the field and immediately goes with the Baby Doll Ice here onto the Ghost normal type, lowering that attack of Zoroark, who is going to respond to by going for the Dragon Dance, so it is going to boost its speed as well as reboosting that attack that was just lowered by Raichu. I wonder if it would be quicker than Raichu now as well, as the Rock Slide from Weirdy does go for both electric types, but Bronzong's able to avoid that attack. Raichu, however, unable to get out of the way, does take the full brunt of that. Now we get the Stuffed Cheeks from Bronzong, so it is going to chew into its Leopard Berry, but it's going to give itself a massive defense boost, and it's already got that base 116 defense. Now the Drain Punch from Raichu, but it does go for Zoroark. Zoroark immune to that fighting type move, allows Zoroark to respond with the Sludge Bomb onto Bronzong. Gets a really good hit here, and Weirdy is going to follow it up with the Water Gun. Looks like they're trying to get Bronzong off the field at the moment. And the Terrastal Pokemon does respond with the Coil. It's going to boost those physical stats as well as its accuracy. So yet again, that physical defense is getting a boost here. And now we have Zoroark going with the Tea Time, so everybody is going to chow down on their Leopard Berries, because every Pokemon in the PokeType League does have one of these when they come into the matches. And whilst they are doing that, if you are enjoying what you are seeing, please leave a like, share, subscribe. Help this series and the PokeType League continue to grow for many, many seasons to come, as Raichu now is going to go and set up the Aromatic Mist, trying to help out Bronzong here by boosting that special defense, which is also base 116, just like that base defense. But the Clanging Scales will connect with both Raichu and Bronzong from Weirdy. They're both in knockout range, but they both hang on the Aerial Ace now. And Zoroark hangs on after Bronzong does that, and it responds with the Sacred Sword, taking out Raichu. Raichu is eliminated. The Goldenrod Aces are building their momentum here. There's only 2 Pokemon left for the Lumos, which is the Crunch onto Bronzong that eliminates Bronzong. There is 1 Pokemon remaining for the Lumos, which is as the Terrastal Pokemon has been eliminated. And that Sunshine comes back out into the field, and it will be Iron Hands who will need the matchup of a lifetime here to eliminate 4 normal types. It won't be affected by that Stun Spore from Zoroark, as Weirdy is going to go for the Dream Eater, which also won't work because Iron Hands is well awake on the field, knowing what it has to do, and immediately it is going to go with the charge, so it is going to begin charging that power here. Look for it to try and boost those electric type moves. It also boosts its special defense in the process, and Zoroark is going to go with the Fell Stinger, which won't be very effective on the part fighting type. And it is going to be followed up by the Brave Bird, though, from Weirdy, capitalizing on that part fighting type. But there is some recoil damage here for Weirdy, as Iron Hands is going to go with the Ice Hammer onto Zoroark. And Zoroark, who's been in this match since the beginning, has finally been eliminated, as Iron Hands cuts into its own speed to do so, but it is already slower than the normal type, as out comes Tauros. And this is a Cantonian Tauros, landing in those pointed stones, but it's got the Intimidate ability just like Weirdy, so it is going to cut into that physical attack. That base 140 physical attack, as the Power Swap from Tauros is going to switch all the changes to the attack that it just did to Iron Hands. That is a massive mistake, as the Air Cutter from Weirdy onto Iron Hands, yet again capitalizing on that part fighting type. And now we get the Cotton Guard from Iron Hands. It is going to boost its physical defense a great deal here, as Tauros with the Crush Claw trying to chip away here at Iron Hands, lowering that physical defense that was just boosted. And Weirdy follows it up with the Power Swap now. So all these attack and special attack changes being switched around between all these Pokemon, as Iron Hands now with the Tail Glow on the field. It does boost that special attack a great deal, but remember it is much more of a physical attacker as the snipe shot from Tauros gets a good hit onto Iron Hands. Weird is going to follow it up with the guillotine. But Iron Hands is able to avoid that move, and now it is going to respond with the Misty Explosion. It's going to take itself out and give game 1 to the Goldenrod Aces. Just like that, the Lumos glitches give up game 1. It does take out Weirder in the process, but they must have seen the end in sight and felt like it was better to regroup, as we are going to reset the field now. Now the Goldenrod Aces will have their hidden abilities, the Lumos glitches with their regular abilities, as it is Rotom, Heat, and Ampharos starting out for the Lumos glitches. Miss Magius and Oranguru coming out for the Goldenrod Aces, and Miss Magius, that Terrestrial Pokemon, who did take quite a bit of time to warm up to the normal types, has embraced this side, and we do look to see if it can have a great performance here in game 2, because if the Goldenrod Aces win, they will move on to the semi-trials, and it does have the speed advantage immediately going for the cut here, and it looks like it is going to go for Rotom with that move, the part Fire type taking the damage, and it is going to respond with the taunt, telling Miss Magius to just bring it. Now normally you will see those two Pokemon with ghost types, but they do not have that. And now we get the payback from Oranguru onto Ampharos, taking its first damage of the matchup. But that static ability is activated, and Oranguru is left paralyzed, so it will be slowed down and potentially unable to move, as Ampharos is going to go with the growth, boosting that physical attack and that special attack. Ampharos does have that 115 base special attack, as Miss Magius with the struggle onto Ampharos. After falling for that taunt, it will get a bit of recoil damage, and Rotom, looking to capitalize, is going to go with the Razor Shell on the paralyzed Oranguru. Gets a critical hit as well, a fantastic hit. And Ampharos is going to follow it up with the Grass Poach. Looks like they're trying to take out the part Psychic type, who does shake off that paralysis. Goes for the Recycle, however, and that is going to fail. So Miss Magius, still with no moves left, is going to continue to struggle. This time going for Rotom, but continuing to get that recoil damage, and they know that whilst Miss Magius is struggling, they can go for Oranguru, as the Confusion will not be very effective onto Oranguru due to its part Psychic type in there from Rotom, but it is in knockout range, and Ampharos with the Matcha Gotcha is going to connect with both normal type Pokemon. And this puts Miss Magius in knockout range, and it will eliminate Oranguru in the process, but not before Ampharos does have its health restored from both normal type Pokemon. But Oranguru has been eliminated. The Lumos glitch is getting the first one in game 2, as Pyro now comes out onto the field and immediately going with the Shadow Punch onto its fellow part Fire type. Sorry, but Miss Magius continuing to struggle. Does go for Rotom, but now it has been eliminated due to the recoil. There's 2 eliminations from the Goldenrod Aces, as the Terrestrial Pokemon is taken out of this match. Now both these sides actually came into the Victory Road Series with 2 wins, as well as the Retaliate from Rotom onto Pyro. Gets a good hit. They definitely want the 3rd overall win to move on into week 2 here, as that focus energy from Ampharos at this critical point in the matchup. And now out comes Ursaluna for the Goldenrod Aces, and immediately it is going to go with the defense kill, so it is going to boost that 105 base defense. This very physical Pokemon on the field, and Pyro follows it up with the Floral Healing. Now this is clearly a mistake, because it must be feeling the pressure here of being in the Victory Road Series, restoring the health of Rotom, who responds with the Meteor Mash. Not very effective there onto Pyro, and Ampharos is going to follow it up with the Quiver Dance. Now I cannot believe Pyro, though, helping out Rotom as the special attack boost and special defense boost for Ampharos, as well as boosting that speed. I don't know if it'll be quicker than Pyro, though, as Ursaluna sets up a light screen on the side of the Goldenrod Aces, making them stronger against special moves. A great play against the electric types, as the Flamethrower now from Pyro onto Ampharos gets a good hit, and Ampharos is going to respond with the Endeavor, but unfortunately that will not work on Ursaluna. And Rotom follows it up with the Screech, greatly lowering the defense here of Pyro, and Ursaluna looking to respond for its side with the Steel Wing, going for Ampharos. Very minimal damage with that not very effective attack, but it will boost the defense of Ursaluna yet again. Now Pyro is going to bounce up high into the sky, springing up, see if it comes down and gets a hard landing in the next turn. But first, the conversion 2 from Ampharos is going to be avoided by Pyro. Rotom, looking to do its part, though, goes for the Sacred Fire, but it also goes for Pyro, so Pyro avoids both those moves. Ursaluna has nothing to worry about, going with the Rock Polish now, so it is going to boost its speed, but it's already the quickest on the field, and Pyro is going to complete that bounce, but it's avoided by Rotom. This allows Ampharos to try and capitalize and set up for a Solar Blade, so it's going to begin to absorb the light on this turn, trying to work its way around that light screen, going for the physical move. But first, the Bubble Beam here from Rotom and it gets a really good hit there onto Ursaluna, who is revealed to be a Zoroark. Now that would have been super effective if it had have been the real Ursaluna, who now Zoroark revealed goes for the Fire Fang onto Ampharos, and Ampharos is left with the burn. This is actually going to cut into that physical attack stat, but it's activated the static of Ampharos, and Zoroark is now left paralyzed. It may be unable to move. And we get the Rock Wrecker from Pyro going for Ampharos, and Ampharos is eliminated before it's able to complete the Solar Blade. A fantastic elimination. The Goldenrod Aces finally get one on the board in game 2 here. And Pyro with that Moxie ability does get a physical attack boost, as Rotom is going to go with the Ancient Power onto the Part Fire type. Super effective, but Pyro is still in this matchup. Now out comes Magnezone for the Lumos glitches, and Zoroark quickest on the field, but it's still paralyzed and unable to move as Pyro has to recharge. This is great for the Lumos glitches. Rotom with the Growl, lowering those physical attack stats of both Zoroark and Pyro, who just got the boost as well. And now Magnezone with the focus energy, similar to Ampharos, understanding how critical this matchup is. It is getting pumped as that light screen does wear off for the Goldenrod Aces. Zoroark does shake off that paralysis to set up a safeguard, and I'm sure it wishes that that was in effect to prevent it from being paralyzed, as the Spore now from Pyro is going to put the part Steel type Magnezone to sleep on the field, leaving Rotom to have to do all the work, as Rotom is going to go with the Aura Sphere onto its fellow Fire type. And finally Pyro has been eliminated from this match with that super effective hit. The Lumos glitches extending their lead yet again, as Magnezone is still fast asleep on the field. And now out comes the real Ursaluna with that Unnerve ability, making the Lumos glitches too nervous to eat their berries, but Zoroark is unable to move due to that paralysis, and it is still so quick as Rotom sets up the Rain Dance, hoping to probably bring down the Thunder. As the Fire type surely does not want to receive any Water type moves. Magnezone though is still fast asleep, and this allows Ursaluna to go with the Present being thrown to Rotom. A massive hit. Rotom hangs on, it's in knockout range, but the Spirit Shackle here from Zoroark could finish it off, and Rotom is eliminated with that 1-2 combination. A fantastic play by the two Hisuian Pokemon here, and Magnezone is still fast asleep, so it probably has no idea what is going on, and this allows Ursaluna to go with the Tickle here onto Magnezone, lowering that attack stat, lowering that defense stat, lowering those physical statistics of Magnezone. As out comes the Electros for the Lumos glitches, and Zoroark immediately with the Energy Ball, welcoming it to the field, gets a fantastic hit as well, and Magnezone has finally awoken on the field, and immediately it goes for the Bug Buzz onto Ursaluna, gets a critical hit. Fantastic connection, and Electros is going to follow it up with the Tail Whip. This is going to lower those defenses now of the two normal types on the field, as Ursaluna is going to go with the Esper Wing onto Magnezone, taking its first damage, but not much of this matchup. But Ursaluna has boosted its speed. It might be quicker than Electros now. Zoroark is going to go for the Aqua Cutter, a good hit there on Electros. Ursaluna follows it up with the Powder Snow, connecting with both electric types. Not very much damage though, as Magnezone is going to go for the Minimize, so it is going to boost that evasiveness, but let's hope nobody goes for a Slam, as Electros now with the Supercell Slam on Zoroark. Zoroark is able to hang on as it is no longer protected by the safeguard, but it is in knockout range, and it is going to respond with the Blue Flare, but Electros is able to avoid that move. And Ursaluna is going to follow it up with the Whirlpool, but now Magnezone's able to avoid that attack after that boosted evasiveness, and Magnezone looking to capitalize, sets up the Toxic Spikes onto the Goldenrod Aces, so whoever comes out for the Aces will be poisoned when they land in those spikes. But first, the Electros is going to go with the Aeroblast now onto Ursaluna. Massive damage. The rain has stopped, and Ursaluna is in knockout range. Zoroark is going to go with the Simple Beam onto Electros, getting rid of that Levitate ability yet again of Electros. This time changing it to the Simple ability, and yet again they've made it so it can be hit by ground type moves. As the Smackdown, Magnezone is able to avoid that move from Ursaluna, and Magnezone goes with the Peck on the Zoroark with the critical hit as well, and Zoroark is eliminated from this match. Electros looking to follow up, goes with the Defog instead of going for the huge play. Ursaluna does have its evasiveness lowered here, and the Poison Spikes have unfortunately disappeared from the side of the Golden Rays. As out comes Weird Ear. It doesn't have to worry about the Toxic Spikes and the Cotton Spore now from Ursaluna. Magnezone though is able to avoid that attack, however Electros does have its speed lowered a great deal and it is going to be followed up by the Poison Gas from Weirdy, which Magnezone doesn't have to worry about because it's part Steel type and they are immune to Poison type moves. But Electros, however, not so fortunate, is going to be left poisoned, so it is going to be chipping away at its health as Magnezone now with the Dragon Breath onto Ursaluna, and Ursaluna is eliminated. The Lumos glitches are in the driver's seat for this match as it's followed up by the beat up onto Weirdy. This will connect 4 times because it connects for every Pokemon that is remaining on the side of the Lumos glitches here. So 4 connections, super effective, fantastic damage they're being done to Weirdy, but there is that poisoning afflicting Electros. It is in knockout range. It is an easy target as Weirdy is going to go with the last respects on a Magnezone, and a huge elimination. Magnezone is taken out of this matchup. Electros needs to go for something big, and it goes with the Guillotine, but Weirdy avoids that move, and it doesn't get much bigger than that as Electros needs to hold on, and that it does by a thread. It is still in this matchup, and it is going to be joined by Iron Hands. They need to level this. They want to take it into a game 3, but first the Spark will take out Electros. Not very effective, but effective enough to get the job done. Iron Hands could level the playing field here. It is going to ride that Surf, and Weirdy takes the critical hit, but it holds on as out comes Raichu to join Iron Hands, and immediately Raichu is going to go with the Slash, and we will take this into a game 3. It is 1 apiece. We will get a field reset. And the Lumos glitches were able to regain some momentum in game 2 there, as now out comes a Rangaroo and Pyro for the Goldenrod Aces. It will be Magnezone and Ampharos starting out this 3rd matchup, and Pyro is going to go with the super effective Fire Fang on the Magnezone to start off a fantastic connection, and Magnezone has flinched at this crucial time as a Rangaroo looking to capitalize goes with the Mach Punch. Another super effective hit there on the Magnezone. They clearly must see it as the biggest threat, as Ampharos is going to go with the Slack Off, and that is not going to work. This is not the time to be slacking off Ampharos. You are in the Victory Road series. This matters as the play rough from Pyro is not very effective on Magnezone. This allows Magnezone to respond with the Sucker Punch, but unfortunately that is going to fail, and this will allow a Rangaroo to try and capitalize as it goes with the Tar Shot. This is going to slow down Magnezone and make it weaker than it already is. 2 Fire type moves. The Goldenrod Aces are starting off strong here. They look like they're building some good momentum as Ampharos with the Cross Chop onto a Rangaroo gets a really good hit there, and Pyro looks to respond with the Leaf Storm, now focusing in on Ampharos. A huge hit there as well on the electric type, and Pyro has lowered its special attack to do so. The Rangaroo follows it up with the Lumina Crash on Magnezone, and Magnezone has held on but barely. It has its special defense lowered if it takes any hits, so it is out, and the Side Shield Dash from Ampharos onto Pyro. Good hit there, and Ampharos now boosting its physical defense as Magnezone with the Magnetic Flux is going to help both Ampharos by boosting Ampharos' defense and special defense. And Pyro is going to go with the Flatter onto Ampharos, and Ampharos is going to be left confused, wondering what is going on, but does get a special attack boost in the process here. Now Rangaroo is going to go with the U-turn. It wants to go back to the bench and have a bit of a break, but does get that hit in on Ampharos before doing so. And now out comes Miss Magius for the Goldenrod Aces. It does not get to the Terrestrialize yet though, but Ampharos needs to shake off this confusion. It is successful. It's going to go with the Bind here on to Pyro. Now if it had have gone for Miss Magius, it's still in that Ghost typing. Remember, it hasn't Terrestrialized yet. Magnezone with the Icy Wind connects with both Miss Magius and Pyro. Not very effective on Pyro. Still gets an okay hit though, and does lower the speed of both normal type side Pokemon in the process, because again Miss Magius has still yet to have the opportunity to Terrestrialize, but that is no longer the case. Miss Magius is finally going to take on that normal type and sheds the Ghost type. Now gets the immunity to its regular typing and gets that fantastic crown taking shape. And Pyro going for the Encore. Unfortunately, this is going to fail, and it doesn't want the Encore of the Lumos glitches winning, that's for sure. But the Perish Song is being set up by Miss Magius. This is a very risky play, because even Pyro will be eliminated in 3 turns unless it can get back to the bench. But first, Ampharos is in a confused state. It is going to do damage to itself, and that is always unfortunate to see. Magnezone looking to do its bit though, is going to go for the pound on Miss Magius, not appreciating the Perish Song, you have to imagine. And here is Pyro taking some damage from that bind that was set up, but everybody's Perish count now will fall to 3. And yet again, this is a very risky play, because the Goldenrod Aces will also lose 2 Pokemon when this falls to 0. The Lumos glitches though still have yet to lose a Pokemon in this matchup, but the Force Palm will take out Magnezone. Super effective there from Pyro Miss Magius looking to follow it up is going to go with the Ice Hammer, but Ampharos is able to get out of the way of that attack, but it's still confused, so it probably just stumbled out of the way of the Ice Hammer, and it does not do any damage to itself, and it goes with the Dragon Claw here onto Miss Magius, who's now in knockout range, and Pyro from that bind is also in knockout range as everybody's perish count falls to 2, and remember, whoever wins this third game will move on to the semi-trials. The loser will be eliminated as out comes Rotom in its Frost form, and Rotom immediately with the Imprison. We have seen this pay off so many times. They may have just sealed the fate of the Goldenrod Aces because Miss Magius and Pyro will not be able to go on the offensive. Ampharos can capitalize here, but remember, it's still confused. It does shake that off and goes with the Power Gem onto Pyro. And Pyro is eliminated with that super effective move, leveling the playing field here. But yet again, that perish count continues to fall as we will be having a Rangaroo coming back out onto the field now to join Miss Magius. But now we have Rotom with the Spatial Rend, taking Miss Magius out of this matchup, giving the Lumos Glitches the lead for the first time in Game 3. The Terrestrial Pokemon has been taken out, and if the Goldenrod Aces lose, this will be the last time we see Miss Magius take that form this season. But a Rangaroo now with that Imprison is going to have to struggle, goes for Rotom. That is exactly what the Goldenrod Aces need to do. I have not seen an Imprison side lose with that strategy yet this season, as Ampharos with the Baton Pass, it's going to avoid the Perish Song, but it's going to give it to Bronzong. Bronzong's perish count just fell to 0. Ampharos just gave it to a full strength Bronzong. I don't know what Ampharos was thinking. Unbelievable. The outcome slacking for the Goldenrod Aces. It has no moves left, and out comes Ampharos back onto the field slacking, going for Rotom. I am still stunned by that play by Ampharos. Very selfish, because if the Lumos Glitches lose, that will be the last time that we see Bronzong, and it didn't even get to Terrastalize on the side of the Lumos Glitches. And there is Rotom chowing down into that Leper area that just took from Rangaroo, who is left to struggle. They are continuing to go for Rotom to try and break this, as a Rangaroo is damaged by the recoil, but they want to break. Sorry, and it's eliminated. I am just still stunned from our Ampharos play, but Ampharos with the payback on a slacking. A Rangaroo has been eliminated. The Lumos Glitches are in the lead. Out comes Tauros with that Intimidate, lowering the attack stat of both Ampharos and Rotom. And Tauros trying to break that struggle, goes for Ampharos. Unfortunately, it should have gone for Rotom. They need to break that Imprison by eliminating Rotom from this matchup, as the Truant prevents slacking from doing damage to itself. And there is that focus energy from Rotom getting pumped, because it must be knowing what's happening at this critical time in the matchup on the play noise from Ampharos. It is going to lower that attack and defense of Tauros here. Sorry, just that attack, but Tauros continuing to struggle on the field, goes for Rotom, doesn't get much damage in, but does get that recoil damage on itself, and slacking is going to do the same. It needs to go for Rotom, and that it does. Rotom has been eliminated. They have broken the imprisonment seal, which is fantastic. The Goldenrod Aces are still in this. It is a level playing field. It's 3 versus 3. They could do this here, but first Ampharos with the Frost Breath onto slacking here, and slacking is eliminated with that critical hit at a very critical moment. Now out comes Oinkologne for the Goldenrod Aces, who hoped to get the Aces into the Victory Road Series. It is Bellybot coming out for the Lumos Glitches, and now we get the Blood Moon coming from Tauros to eliminate Ampharos from this matchup. It avoided the Perish Line, but it could not avoid the Blood Moon. It is a 2 versus 2 battle. Oinkologne is going to set up with the Sky Attack. It becomes cloaked in that harsh light as we see those wings take flight. Bellybot, going for its first move of the matchup, is going to go with the Heart Swap now, switching those stat changes with Oinkologne. Not that I think either have had any yet, as out comes Sandy Shock's last Pokemon for the Lumos Glitches. We get the Cosmic Power from Tauros. It is a 2 versus 2 battle. Whoever walks out as the victor will move on. Tauros boosting that special defense. Sandy Shock's with the agility, it is going to boost its speed, making itself quicker than the normal types on the field with that massive speed boost here. And Oinkologne finishing off that Sky Attack, but Bellybot is able to roll out of the way of that move and go with the U-turn. It's going to connect with Oinkologne. It will not go back to the bench, but it will get that Lingering Aroma ability, losing that damp ability that would prevent any explosions as well. And Sandy Shocks with the confusion onto Tauros, gets an okay hit there to chip away at the Cantonian Tauros, who goes with the double kick onto Bellybot, connects with that first one. Now Tauros gets that Lingering Aroma ability. At this rate, everybody's going to end up with that Lingering Aroma ability. Not that it has that ability to capitalize on Intimidate anymore after connecting with those 2 double kicks. The Noble Roar follow-up from Oinkologne onto Bellybolt, lowering that physical attack and that special attack here, as Bellybolt is looking to respond with the disarming voice. This will connect with both normal type Pokemon for very minimal damage. It is followed up by the Sand Tomb from Sandy Shocks onto Oinkologne. It is going to be trapped in that quicksand, so it will take continuous passive damage. Now we get the Leer from Tauros. It is going to lower the defense of Bellybolt and Sandy Shock, see if they go for any physical moves, as Oinkologne follows it up with the Focus Blast, but it did not have enough focus to connect with Sandy Shock, so it was able to avoid that attack, and Bellybolt, looking to capitalize, sets up the Psychic Terrain on the field. It'll be very interesting to see if either side can capitalize, as that battlefield does get just a little bit weird. And there is Oinkologne feeling the effects of that Sand Tomb here, as Sandy Shock still the quickest on the field with the Fake Tears towards Tauros, shedding those Fake Tears for it, lowering that special defense of the normal type, as Tauros does look to respond with the Trick Room. It is going to reverse the speed order. Sandy Shock has just become the slowest Pokemon on the field in these twisted dimensions, but Bellybolt is now the quickest, who goes with the Boom Burst. Tauros is eliminated from this matchup. Oinkologne is all by itself. It needs to hold on, needs to get an elimination, going with the skill swap. That's not going to matter. It's just switching the Lingering Aroma for the Lingering Aroma, so nothing relevant there happens for the Goldenrod Aces. Switching those abilities, Sandy Shocks could capitalize here, but first Oinkologne is going to feel the effects. It is in knockout range. It needs to take out Sandy Shocks, but first Bellybolt with the Wish. It is wishing for them to move on to the semi-trials, but first Oinkologne is going to go with the Fire Pledge onto Bellybolt, very minimal damage, and Sandy Shocks is going to go with the Worry Seed, telling Oinkologne it needs to worry because it knows what's about to happen. That Sand Tomb should finish it off. It's going to get that Insomnia ability. Oinkologne will be left wondering what has happened, and that it will, because Oinkologne is eliminated. The Lumiose Glitches have won. The Lumiose Glitches have won, and they will move on to week 2. They will move on to the semi-trials in the Victory Road series. Unbelievable, and they will face the victor of the Flying types and the Delta types, and I cannot wait for that after this fantastic matchup. But until then, Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field, and if you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, always remember, you are awesome, and I'll see you when you see me.